Every single morning, your body hands you a report card on your health, and most people flush it without ever reading it. What's sitting in the toilet right now is one of the clearest signals your gut sends you, and by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to read it. Back in 1997, researchers at the Bristol Royal Infirmary in England created something called the Bristol Stool Scale. It sorts human stool into 7 distinct types, and doctors around the world still use it today. Why? Because the shape, texture, and consistency of what leaves your body tells a surprisingly detailed story about what's happening inside it. Your hydration, your diet, your stress levels, even how well your gut is actually doing its job. So let's walk through all 7. Type 1 looks like a small cluster of hard, separate lumps, kind of like nuts or little pebbles. They're difficult to pass, and they often leave you feeling like the job isn't quite finished. If this is what you're seeing, your body is waving a pretty big flag, you're severely constipated, and that stool has been sitting in your colon for a long time. The longer it sits, the more water your body pulls out of it, which is exactly why it ends up so dry and fragmented. The usual culprits: not enough water, not enough fiber, and not enough movement. But if yours looks like the next one, the story shifts a little. Type 2 looks like a sausage, but a lumpy one. Picture several of those Type 1 pebbles pressed together into a single bumpy log. It's hard, it's dense, and passing it usually takes some effort. This one points to mild constipation. Things are moving through your system, but slowly, and your colon is still pulling out more water than it should. A lot of people live in Type 2 territory without realizing it, especially if their diet leans heavy on processed foods and light on plants. The fix is rarely dramatic: more water, more fiber from real food, a little more daily movement. Now, Type 3 is where things start looking healthier. Now, before we get to the healthier types on this scale, I have to pause for a second, because if Type 1 or Type 2 is what you've been seeing in the toilet lately, there's something you really need to know about. Most people assume the answer is just eat more fiber. But there's actually a strange 8,000-year-old gut superfood, one that grows underwater, that's been quietly helping people empty their bowels up to 2 times faster, even when they eat almost no fiber at all. It sounds backwards, I know, but over 3 billion people have used it, and there's real science behind why it works on the actual root cause of constipation and that heavy, bloated, sluggish feeling, the toxic buildup that can sit in your intestines for years. No restrictive diets, no expensive probiotics, no medications, just one small pinch before a meal. If you want to see exactly how it works, point your phone's camera at the QR code on your screen right now. It'll take you straight to the full breakdown. There's also a link pinned at the top of the comments below this video, so you can tap it from there if that's easier. Go ahead and check it out. I'll be right here when you get back, because the next type on the scale is where things actually start looking healthier, and that's exactly where you want to end up. Type 3 is shaped like a sausage too, but smoother, with small cracks running along the surface, almost like the outside of a cracked log. It passes easily, without much straining, and it generally feels like a clean, complete trip to the bathroom. This is solidly in the healthy range. Your transit time, meaning how long food takes to move from your plate to the toilet, is in a good place. You're probably getting decent hydration and reasonable fiber. There's still a little room for improvement, but if this is your everyday, your gut is doing well. And the next type up the scale, that's the one your body is actually aiming for. Type 4 is the gold standard. It looks like a smooth, soft sausage or a snake, uniform in shape, easy to pass, and gone almost without effort. No cracks, no lumps, no straining. If this is what you're seeing on a regular basis, congratulations. Your gut is genuinely happy. You're well hydrated, you're getting enough fiber, your transit time is right where it should be, and the bacteria in your gut are likely thriving. This is the type doctors quietly hope you're producing. It's the benchmark everything else gets measured against. But the scale doesn't stop here, and the next 3 types start telling a very different story. Type 5 shows up as soft blobs with clean, clear edges, easy to pass, but not really holding together as one piece. Think small, soft chunks rather than a single log. This usually means your stool is moving through your colon a little too quickly, and your body isn't getting quite enough fiber to bulk things up properly. It's not an emergency and it's not painful, but it is a nudge. Your gut is telling you it could use more plant foods, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans. Catch this one early and it's easy to correct. Ignore it, and the next type tends to follow not far behind. Type 6 is mushy, with fluffy pieces and ragged, torn edges, almost like a soft pile rather than a defined shape. It tends to come on with some urgency, and it's usually closer to diarrhea than not. This is your gut signaling that things are moving way too fast. Food is rushing through before your colon has a chance to absorb water properly, which is why everything ends up loose and shapeless. The triggers are usually clear: a stressful stretch, a bug working its way through, something you ate that didn't agree with you, or sometimes an underlying inflammation. One-off, no big deal. Recurring, worth paying attention to. Type 7 is entirely liquid. No shape, no solid pieces, just water. This is full-on diarrhea, and it usually arrives fast, urgent, and impossible to ignore. Something is seriously irritating your gut. A virus, a bacterial infection, food poisoning, a strong medication, or occasionally a flare of a deeper digestive condition. The bigger concern here isn't actually the stool itself, it's dehydration. Your body is losing fluids and electrolytes at a rapid pace, and that can catch up with you quickly, especially in kids and older adults. If this lasts more than a day or two, or if it shows up with fever or blood, that's not a wait-and-see situation, that's a call someone situation. Here's the most important thing to take away from all of this. One trip to the bathroom doesn't define your gut health. Patterns do. Everyone has an off day, a stressful week, a meal that didn't sit right, a trip that throws everything off schedule. What actually matters is what your stool looks like most of the time, over weeks and months, not on any single morning. And there are 4 things that influence those patterns more than almost anything else. First, hydration. Your colon's main job is to pull water out of your waste. If you're not drinking enough, it pulls out too much, and you end up in type 1 or type 2 territory. Most adults need somewhere between 60 and 80 ounces of water a day, more if you're active or in heat. Second, fiber. Specifically, fiber from real, whole plant foods. Vegetables, fruits, beans, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. Fiber gives stool its shape and feeds the good bacteria living in your gut. Third, stress. Your gut and your brain are constantly talking to each other. When you're anxious, overwhelmed, or running on no sleep, your digestion feels it immediately. Fourth, movement. Even a daily walk helps your intestines do their job. Now, a quick but important note. This is educational information, not personal medical advice. If you're seeing blood, experiencing severe pain, losing weight without trying, or noticing a major change that sticks around for more than a couple of weeks, don't search the internet. Talk to a healthcare provider. Your gut is talking to you. It's just worth knowing when the message needs a professional ear. So the next time you're about to flush, take half a second to actually look. That small, slightly awkward glance is one of the simplest, cheapest, most honest health checks you have access to, and now you know how to read it. Your body has been quietly handing you this report card every single day of your life. Most people will never learn how to open it. You just did. Hydration, fiber, movement, manage stress. Those 4 things shape almost everything you'll ever see in that toilet bowl. Get them right, and your gut will reward you with the kind of quiet, easy comfort you only really notice once you've lived without it. Your gut is talking. The question is whether you're listening.